What's up, everybody? Welcome to Black Steez. Um, so as some of y'all know, I pretty much said I'm gonna be broadening the topics on the channel and getting into some things that more people could relate to. Talking about some different things. What up, Wavy Crypto? So this is gonna be the first video of that, or on these different topics. So a lot of my subscribers, yeah, I don't want to get the copyright claim for turning up the music, but a lot of my subscribers are used to me talking about crypto and all these different little financial things. So I'm just mixing it up right now. And this is one of the things that I see a lot of videos. I don't know why I get the suggested videos for topics like these, but I see a lot of videos being posted about like black dudes dating different races. And very rarely is it actually from the perspective of a black dude. So I said, yo, I'm about to talk on this. I'm about to talk about this. I'm gonna give my perspective and put it out there for everybody to take what they will from it. Being somebody who has actually dated like every race, like white girls, black girls, Hispanic girls, Asian girls, Caribbean girls. Really the only race of females that I have not dated would be Indian, like straight from India. Like, and if anybody could like send some tips my way, like how to bag an Indian chick, please let me know, because to no avail have I ever been able to pull an Indian chick. Now, so we just gonna get right into it. So the title of the video is into the how. Now, like I said, I've dated chicks from everywhere. Like I've dated all types of chicks, black chicks, white chicks, like you name it. I've dated them. Like, so that's why I feel like my perspective is like can be really good on this, and especially to other black dudes out there who might like want to date other races, but they don't really know like how to approach them and like what to expect. So like I said, like let's get right into it. So as far as how to date all these different races, I think that the number one thing that you should do, and that should come first before anything else, is like, don't just try to date these women just because like you think it's cool or something that's in. You need to be yourself first of all. Like you need to be yourself. Stop trying to fit into any trends and different crowds. Like find what makes you and run with that. Like don't try to be like everybody else. Like that's unattractive to any fucking body. Is you're just being a follower. Like find out how to like at least be a leader for yourself. Like you may not be a leader that can go out and lead the people, but you at least need to be a leader for yourself. Like that's number one. So be yourself. But as you're being yourself, like in the way that you carry yourself and be yourself, like that's something that's gonna make you different, and that's something that women are gonna notice. So you need to be yourself, but you also need to be different. Like you can't be basically women like no, I don't think any woman is gonna like look in your direction if she thinks that you're like exactly like some other motherfucker. Like why would she date you instead of dude over here if y'all are fucking carbon copies of each other? So like that's real important. Like always be yourself. have your own style, develop your own personality, and just be yourself, man. So number 2 is you gotta have something to offer. Like, and a lot of these hows that I'm gonna talk about, like, they apply to just like, even dating females within your own race. You need to have something to offer. Like, no female is gonna want to fuck with you if you don't have something to offer. So that's, like, very important. You need to have something to offer. And a lot of the things that we offer as males, it's sad to say, but money. Like, if you have money, that's gonna really help you out in terms of attracting, like, any female. You need to have money. If you're a person with fame, you look around, you see, like, a lot of big relationships, some successful ones and some that's just, like, maybe just being put out there for media and promotional purposes. You know, like, it's a lot of famous people that get together and they just doing this shit for marketing and to promote themselves. But you see a lot of interracial couples, like, that are famous, and that's really gonna help you out if you're the type of dude that has some type of fame or notoriety. If you're well known where you come from, if you got a social media presence, if you're some type of actor, basically, if you have a name for yourself, like, that's really gonna help you attract all different types of women. So, you know, a part of the dating scene and reaching out to all these different women, a part of that is taking care of yourself and putting yourself first and building yourself up. So that's real important, and that'll definitely, like, put you in that category as somebody that has fame or notoriety. If you do something, you do it well, and you get attention for whatever it is that you do. That's important. The other thing you can have to offer is security. So security, that can be taken, like, many different ways, but no woman wants to be around a wimpy ass, soft ass dude. Like, it just doesn't work like that. Like, women don't like that. They don't appreciate that. So you got to be able to defend yourself and defend her if you need to. So that's something that, you know, it's something that you can offer her, is that security of knowing that she's with you, she's gonna feel safe, and all of that. That's real important. Another way that you can attract any type of woman is to have confidence. Have confidence in yourself. Be sure of yourself. Some dudes just don't have confidence. Like, they go to talk to women, and it's like giving her attention. Like, don't be that guy. Like, don't be that guy, because the fact is if the last thing I said is you have something to offer. So because you have something to offer, you should carry yourself with a certain level of confidence. And, you know, at the same time, that confidence shouldn't go into, like, cockiness, but she has to know that, like, you know, it's a two-way street. So women really love dudes that are confident in themselves, and, you know, really being confident is about exuding that positive energy. I believe everything is energy. Like, everything has to do with energy. The energy that you put out is the energy that you get back in life. So if you're putting out that positive energy, You got those confident vibes going on. Like women are gonna take notice to that. All different types of women. It doesn't matter what type of woman she is, what race or ethnic background she comes from. Now, this one is really important when it comes to how to attract these different ethnicities and different races of women. You are going to have to practice your communication skills. Now, this means that you may have to learn about different cultures. This means that you may have to actually pick a goddamn book up and read a book. We live in the internet age now. Not that many people fucking that I know even like read on a regular basis. Like they just don't. Like I have a couple friends that I know of off the top of my head that actually read books. So, you know, reading is one way to increase your communication skills and your language skills and for you to learn about different cultures. That's real important. You have to learn about different cultures. If you're going to be interacting with women that come from different backgrounds than you, a lot can be lost if the communication isn't there. So because of that, you need different cultures, how to communicate, how to talk to people, and that's really going to go a long way. Now, the reason I say that's so important when it comes to dating all these different, you're dating a Spanish chick and you're going to go to like one of her family gatherings or cookouts or some shit like that. Now, if all these people around you is just talking Spanish, speaking Spanish, and you don't understand a fucking drip of what they're talking about, it's gonna put you in a zone where you feel uncomfortable, and boom, your confidence is gonna go out the window because now you're nervous. You don't know what all these people are talking about. You can't really communicate with them. So that's like a big one. And in terms of like bettering your communication, if you can learn different languages, if you can how to speak and communicate with different cultures, just their mannerisms, their behaviors, knowing like, you know, what's good to do and what's not good to do around them, that's really gonna help you out. Another big one as far as how to attract all these different types of women is stop chasing women. Now, some people may not agree with me on this, but in my personal experience, like, you don't want to be like, females take that as like real like softness. Like they take that as like you are straight pushover if you're constantly chasing women. All you do is chase. Like, now I'm not saying like don't chase women at all, but don't make that your MO. Like, don't always go after them. Don't be on the gas full throttle like all the time. Like, that shit is unattractive to women. And that plays into like having confidence in shit. If you have confidence, then you don't actually need to chase women. If you're a person that has confidence, then you know, you could take that back, and that's gonna let them know that, oh shit, like he's not constantly after me. Like, that's gonna create a mystery in their head. It's gonna create they're gonna be wondering, like, why is it that he feels like he doesn't have to chase me? Like, what is it that he, like, maybe he's onto something better, and that's gonna increase that curiosity with them, and that's gonna help you out. It's gonna put you a level above the dude that's fucking texting and calling her every day, constantly blowing up her phone, never giving her a break. and never letting her live. Like, that shit gets annoying. You don't want anybody doing that to you. Like, whether you're trying to date a person or any kind of relationship, you never, like, nobody wants that shit. Like, nobody wants to be annoyed constantly like that, and that's how you're gonna come off. You're gonna come off as weak and annoying. So don't chase too much. Like, there's an appropriate amount of chase that needs to take place, and you need to be direct when you are going after these women. Like, me personally, like, I don't waste time. Like, I used to, like, when I was younger, I would like think that, oh, I gotta talk to her and I gotta like send these types of signals and hint. Don't even worry about that. Like, it's not rocket science. Like, you do not need to go ahead and try to like coax a woman into getting a date by talking about this and talking about 20 million different things. Like, you need to be direct and don't chase. So it's like a push and a pull. So you're gonna say you want to ask a female out, you ask her out, and that's it. If you make a decision, okay, I want to talk to so-and-so, and I want to push the relationship to another level, I want to get a date with her, that's what you do. You ask her for a date. And when you're asking for these dates, or you're asking these women out, be direct. Make sure it's on the timeline. Make sure it's on your timeline, because you're gonna get, if you play too many games, you're gonna get friend zoned real quick. You're gonna be a dude that she doesn't even like look at you in that way. So, like I said, me personally, I'm real direct. If I want to go out with a chick, I'm gonna say, yo, let's go out, let's do this. Boom, boom, boom. I'll pick you up this time or this day, and take it from there. Now, if you're asking chicks out and you can't get a straight answer, that's not really a good sign. Maybe you're not being direct enough. Maybe she doesn't know what your intentions are. And like I said, a lot of this stuff like works like and applies to every type of female, like every race, whether you're dating your own race of female or you're dating someone else. Like, it applies to all of that. So just keep that in mind. And the last thing I want to talk about in terms of how to date these types of women or different types of women is knowing yourself. Like, you have to know yourself and know what you want out of life, out of relationships, and out of a relationship with any particular girl. Not every female is going to be somebody that you want to have a long-term relationship with. Not every female is somebody that you're going to be going to like talk when you feel like emotional and you need a shoulder to cry on. And not every female is going to be somebody that you want to sleep with or take home to your parents. Like, so you have to know yourself and know what you want out of it before you even get involved with any of these like females. So if you do all of those things, that will put you in a much better space to be attractive to more than one type of female. Don't put yourself in the box. Stay flexible. That's real important, but make sure you know what you want out of these relationships. Otherwise, you're just fucking playing games. Me personally, I don't like to fucking play games. I skip recess because I don't play games. A lot of people these days like to play games, and I don't have time to waste playing games. Like, if you want to play fucking games, go to an arcade, and there's plenty of games there for you. So, just try to be direct with people and don't waste each other's time. Now, this is like the more juicy part, because like I said, I saw a lot of videos, people talking about like their experiences dating different races, what's it like to date a black guy, like females that make these types of videos and shit like that. So this is where I believe my perspective is needed as a black dude who's dated damn near every race there is on the fucking planet. So this is like what to expect. Now, the number one thing that you are going to experience dating all of these different races, the number one thing, hands down, like I couldn't make this video without talking about it, is racism. You are going to experience racism. Like, and if you're, I don't know, where I'm from is all different types of people mingled up. Here in Jersey, it's people from everywhere. So racism is not something that's new to me. Like, I've experienced it growing up. And it's a constant like tone in America, like the country, like itself. So, but I understand that some people come from different places where like they don't really get to interact with people from different backgrounds too often. So maybe if they experience racism as something like that's like new and a big deal to them. But if you're gonna be dating females that are not the same color as you, you are going to experience racism, and you're going to experience it from different angles. You might get a pushback from her family because a lot of different races, even though we're supposed to be going into 2019 and everybody's free to do whatever they want and all that good gravy shit, especially with the older crowd, like females' parents and her family, you're gonna experience that racism. A lot of them don't think it's okay for them to date outside of their race, regardless of them claiming to not be racist or whatever. They still don't want their daughters to date outside their race, and especially black dudes. Just keeping it a buck. They don't want you to date their daughters. They don't want you to date their daughters. They think you're gonna fuck their daughters up. They think you're gonna get their daughters pregnant and leave. They think you're gonna beat their daughters. They think you're fucking dirty and you don't have a job. All these different things. This is real. Like, this is what they actually think about black dudes. I was reading a book, and it basically went into it was like a psychology study. Basically what I was saying was, in the study, they would show people images, white people. They would take white people and they would show them, they would like flash them an image of a black dude and a white dude, and they would flash really fast. Excuse me, like milliseconds, like barely enough time for their brain to process what they had seen. They would flash them these images, and then they would follow up those images. They would flash two images. One would be a black dude, one would be a white dude, and they would follow up these images with long ass boring questionnaires that took like forever for them to fucking do. And what they found was that when they flashed the images to these white people of black dudes, they got agitated and frustrated with the questionnaires way faster than if they had seen the image of the white dude. So basically what they concluded was that, and these dudes that were, these white people that were taking these questionnaires and being shown these images were all like asked if they were racist. They were asked if they had any negative feelings towards black people, and they said no. So, but what the study concluded was that on a subconscious level, these motherfucking people were racist, and like they didn't even know they were racist, because just being shown an image of a black person for a short period of time increased their levels of stress and increased their levels of agitation And even if they declined to being racist and they said that they weren't racist, they still had these preconceived notions in their head already. So racism is a big one when it comes to dating all these different races. You're going to experience that pushback. When you go out in public with these females, you're gonna see people staring at you. Like, people are gonna treat you different, especially depending on where you're actually at and where you're traveling with these chicks. You're gonna experience heavy racism. So if that's something that pisses you off and you don't have tough skin to deal with that, then you might not even want to get involved with any chicks from different races. If the chick is not confident, if you're not confident, and you give a fuck what people think too much, then it's not going to be for you, because I'm going to tell you right now, like, you're going to experience racism. So if you can't handle that, just don't even get involved with chicks from different races. White girls. White girls come from a different culture. Not saying that it's not white people who can relate and have been around black people, but more often than not, they come from a completely different culture. They like different things. They carry themselves in a different way. So when you're dealing with them, you need to be able to understand that. And that's why I said, like, how to actually attract and get closer to these different types of females is you're gonna have to, practice your communication skills and learn different cultures, because they're not gonna all like the same things. They really, like, they have their own way of doing things, their own way of talking. And so, that's something that you can expect. Like, really gotta be, like, like I said, if you can't communicate with different types of chicks, then it's gonna be really hard for you to date them. Like, it's gonna be really hard for you to date them. And maybe you're not trying to date them, which is why I said know what you want. Maybe you don't even want to date them. Maybe you just want to hook up when you want to sleep with them, pump and dump, kick them to the curb. And if you want to do that, maybe you don't need to focus on the communication as much, because communication for sexual communication is, like, really, like, kind of universal. Like, that's gonna be something that's easier to grasp between two people, is that type of energy, as opposed to, like, actually communicating with somebody that you're interested in, like, on a deeper level. So depends on what you want. Spanish and Hispanic chicks are crazy as fuck. Disclaimer, this is all my personal opinion. Like, y'all don't have to agree with me. Like, this is my personal opinion. But Spanish chicks are crazy. Like, and when I say they're crazy in all different types of ways. Like, fucking mental illness crazy. Like, they're Spanish chicks are, like, man, like, how people assume black chicks will be, like, in terms of having mad attitude and being tough. I found that that's more so Spanish chicks. Like, Spanish chicks are more fucking crazy like that than black dudes are. Like, they're gonna go to your phone. They're gonna fucking they're gonna be calling your friends and shit, popping up at your house. The stereotypes that people think about black girls and black chicks, black women, that shit applies to Spanish women. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. Like, so if you ain't with some high energy, like, in your face, if you can't handle that, then don't even go after Spanish chicks, because they are crazy, dog. Like speed and high energy and in your face. Like they're like that. They all gonna date a Spanish chick, like, and y'all are gonna dance because too dance. I'm gonna say, like, out of all of these different types of women, in terms of cooking, Spanish chicks will probably be at the top of the list, like right before black women, because I found that most Spanish chicks can actually cook, and they do cook, and they will cook. White chicks don't really be cooking that much, and even when they do, it's not that good. Sorry to say, but it's just not that good. But they'll take care of you. They'll definitely do their best to take care of you. Like, and it's all love. Like, I'm not throwing shots at any race right now. I'm just giving all my perspective on what's different between the races. But Spanish chicks cook, they crazy. Black women. Now, you're dating, like, this is gonna be like the easiest. Like, if you're a black dude and you're dating a black woman, then it's gonna be way more easier for you to relate to her. Y'all are gonna have more in common, and that's real helpful. It's kind of cut and dry when it comes to that. Like, you know, like I said, the communication plays a huge part in all of this. So if you're dating a black woman from the same type of background that you come from, it's going to be much easier for you to actually communicate and understand each other. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to find some black chicks who are just straight weird. Like, I'll give you an example. Now, I dated this Mexican chick. She thought she was black. Like, she would say, like, "Oh, I'm black" all the time. Like, she really, like, thought she was black. Like, her mom, like, married a black dude, and so she grew up around other black people, and she had it in her head that she was black. And the whole time we were in a relationship, I would just be telling her, like, "Yo, you're not black." You're not black. Like, I don't care who you grew up around. Like, doesn't matter. Like, you're still Mexican. The point of me saying that is that even if you're dating a black chick, like, every female has her own personality and her own background that she grew up around. Like, you may find a black chick and you think, like, oh, like, we're gonna have so much in common, like, because we come from the same race. That shit is not true. Like, because you may actually end up with somebody who doesn't even really identify much with the stereotypes and what you would think about them. Like, so you could be dating a black chick who act just like a white girl, and I've come across those black chicks who act just like white chicks. And take that on a stereotypical level. Like, so what you would think a white girl would act like, you could actually date a black girl who acts like a white girl. It happens. Like I said, everybody has their own identity, their own type of personality, their own vibes and energies going on. So you really wouldn't be able to know any of that by just purely looking at anybody. So it's probably a good thing that if you're gonna be dating chicks of different races, to not be judgmental, because you never know what type of person you're dealing with. Like, everybody's got surprises. Asian females. Now, I've dated a few different Asian females, and the one thing that they kind of, like, mostly have in common, and I'll say again, like, the full disclaimer, like I'm really not throwing shots. I'm not trying to put people in a box of what they actually are and put them, like, just label them. I'm not trying to do that, but these are like common tones that like a lot of these females had in common. And when I was dating Asian women, a lot of them came from sheltered backgrounds. Um, they came from kind of families where, like, it's not that they didn't do much outside of their culture, but they were fully enveloped in their own culture and didn't really have much of an understanding of any other culture, maybe except for white American culture, because to be honest, a lot of the races seem fucking fascinated with white American culture, and you're gonna experience a lot of people who subscribe to that and like try to identify with that even though they're not white. And that's the thing with Asian females. More stuff that you could kind of expect when you're dating all these different types of females is that I already touched on this. Like, they want to be black. Like, a lot of females, a lot of different races, like, they might not admit it, and you'll see like a lot of different people say this because it's true, but everybody want to be black until it's time to actually be black. And basically what that means is people want to be black, they want to be a part of the culture, they think it's cool, but they don't want the consequences, or they don't want the negative, or they don't want all of the shit that comes with being black. But they want the look, they want to act like black, they want to talk like black people. You're gonna see that if you start dating different races, you're gonna see that shit. Another thing you're gonna encounter as a black dude dating different races is that a lot of these chicks, they only want to mess with you just for sex, man. Maybe they've never been with a black dude before, and you'll hear shit like, "Oh, you're different. Like you're different for a black dude." Or maybe they have dealt with black dudes before, and they just really like have like this like fetish, like black fever. Like they just want to be with a black dude. And you're gonna encounter that. Like you're gonna encounter chicks that they're not gonna take you serious on any type of relationship or serious level. They just want to sleep with you. You're gonna encounter that. You're gonna encounter, especially along those lines, lots of preconceived notions and stereotypes that these women are gonna believe about you, which is why I said it's important to really differentiate yourself and have your own personality and character, because most of the time these females already think a bunch of different shit about you before they even get to know you, and it's gonna be hard for you to battle all that different stuff. And sometimes because of that, they're not gonna take you serious. They're not gonna take you serious because they know that if they're gonna bring you home to their family's fucking racist. Maybe even some of their friends are fucking racist and have all these different stereotypes in their head already about black dudes. So that's something you're gonna encounter too, is that they're not gonna take you serious. Like they're not gonna look at you as somebody, as like fucking marriage material or a real long-term relationship. They're not gonna take you serious. Like you're gonna have to deal with that. And I'm not saying that's every female, but the vast majority, like most of them, it is what it is. They're not going to take you serious. And you do find somebody that takes you serious, then that's gonna be because she's like a super confident person that doesn't give a fuck about what people thinks, because these are things that you two are going to have to deal with being in an interracial relationship or dealing with somebody from a different race than you. Like, you're gonna have to deal with all those things. So if she's not prepared to deal with all of those things, maybe she just wants you for sex. Maybe she just wants you for image. Maybe she want to be black, so she want to get closer to you, so she could feel like she knows what the fuck is going on. Um, and that's just all she wants from it. But that's why I said you got to know what you want too, because you're gonna encounter all these different types of females. You got to know exactly what you want. Um, the last thing I want to say about what you can expect when you're dating all these different types of women, and then I'm gonna end it here, is that you're definitely going to learn a lot. You're gonna learn a lot about different cultures, especially if you put in the effort to learn. You are gonna learn a lot about different cultures, different languages, different foods. You're gonna learn a lot about society and how the world works in general, because like I said, it's going to create different little dynamics where you can have all these different learning experiences where racism, um, learning how different cultures work and all of that kind of stuff. So if you keep an open mind, you will be able to learn a lot, and this is fascinating. Like some of the experiences that I've been through, and things that I've learned, it's really fascinating, and I've learned a lot of stuff about myself through dating women from different cultures. Like, you may learn that you like something that you would never have been exposed to had you been dating a chick from a different culture. So, if you're gonna go out and date chicks from different cultures, keep an open mind, stay confident, know what you want. Um, don't chase these chicks around. It's not really gonna net you what you probably think you're gonna net from chasing chicks around.